Go.
Okay. Well, this is my video about Native Americans, and my friend Sarah here is going to help me in teaching. And yeah, so first I'm going to respond to 3 questions that she has. And so, Sarah, what are your questions?
Why are the Native Americans so lazy?
You know, that's a good question. And a lot of people think that these days because of social constructionism.
What is that?
Okay. So, over time, people have constructed this label as lazy Native Americans because way back when, people have noticed that there was certain Native American people that didn't do very much, and that evolved into a label that they put on all Native Americans. And now those Native Americans are noticing this label that they put on them, and that label is becoming part of them, and they're actually living like what people think they are.
So by not doing much, what do you mean by that?
Well, being lazy.
Okay.
Question number 2.
Question number 2. Why do they paint their faces?
Painting their faces is an ethnic thing that they do. It goes back to their history, family history. They do it because their ancestors did it, and it shows their roots. And I think that their ancestors did it to show that they're warriors and they're fierce, and other religious reasons perhaps.
Do you think there's a specific reason why they use certain colors?
Now, I'm sure there is, but I'm not sure what it is.
Okay. Question number 3. In regards to the Washington Redskins.
Yes, this current issue.
Yes. So why is that rising up now instead of when the name was first come up with?
Very good question. So this issue is current because there's people now that there's not a lot of people, but some people have acted out because they felt that this is bringing their image down. Now the Redskins are viewed as, I guess, a derogatory term for Native Americans, and for the people now, they've started to act on it because, a few people have acted on it, which has led to an accumulation, and it's on the news now, and it's a big issue because those people made it an issue.
So they're speaking their minds, so more people
Right.
are wanting to speak their minds.
Yeah.
Right.
But those people speaking their mind doesn't represent the whole of it. Not everybody views the Redskins as a derogatory term for some reason, and just a certain amount of those people want it changed because they feel it doesn't represent who Native Americans are.
Alright. So, this is a random question. It's kind of with the Redskins again.
Okay.
The Washington Redskins. In a way, because the Americans were settled by there were Native Americans here before, so
Yeah.
on the East Coast, that team felt they could represent America in that way. I don't know, I guess I can't really understand it fully because I'm not Native American, but that's still representing America like, I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but like, it doesn't sound that bad because they're still representing the Native Americans by naming a football team the Redskins.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, a lot of people don't think it's bad. They think it supports the Native Americans.
Yeah,
It's viewing them as like fierce warriors, but that doesn't represent who they are now, you know?
Okay.
But there's also other teams such as like the Indians, Blackhawks. You know, why don't they change those names?
I don't know.
And it comes down to the Redskins name. I guess people just don't like it because it denotes the color of their skin as being red. It's like naming a team the White Skins or the Black Skins, you know?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
It just doesn't seem right.
Alright.
Some of the so there's a lot of obstacles that the Native Americans face nowadays. They live in reservations, obviously. A lot of people don't know what happens in reservations because they're like secluded from society. But currently they face a lot of issues which impact other parts of their sociological image.
Like
such
what
as,
issues?
So this all contributes to the matrix of domination, how our society dominates them.
Okay.
So let's take, for instance, their housing, right? The housing on reservations is really poor. It's comparable to a third world country. Because of that issue, they aren't able to focus on, let's say, education. So education is really poor, and the kids don't always graduate from their schools, which impacts the jobs on reservations. There's also not a lot of jobs on reservations for people to have because they may not have that high of an education.
So, if these issues keep rising on reservations, why don't they just leave?
Include them in our society?
Or we ought to do that, or they could choose to not live on the reservation. Why do they stay?
And that is what is happening. The younger generation is leaving their society to join this one because they feel it has more opportunities. And that has resulted in the Native American culture dying. It's slowly decreasing. And I believe that one day that they may possibly not even exist.
Alright, so we have a minute and a half left.
Okay.
What do I need to know from this?
So, I'm going to finish the discussion by talking about how racism can be eliminated, which responds to your question as well. For the Native Americans specifically, I believe that racism can be eliminated by informing the people in our society about their situation and what they're going through. A lot of people view them as lazy alcoholics, and even though it may be true, may not be true, we shouldn't put that label on them because they will internalize that label and they'll become that. So our racism brings them down. We're showing our superiority over them by putting those labels on them, whereas we should be equal and there wouldn't be any racism. And I believe that by teaching people, they'll be informed and they won't be racist,
You're right, yeah. People should inform themselves a little more.
I think that the school system has a lot to do with it because we don't teach a lot of people about Native Americans where they are now. So racism, it can be eliminated by educating people. And I learned a lot about Native Americans in this project, and I hope you did as well.
Thank you for informing me. I learned a lot. Thank you.